What up? It's your boy DJ Scratch, and you're checking out allhiphop.com.
What's going on, world? It's your man Chuck Creekmur, aka Jigsaw. We're here at One World Studios and here with none other than the turntable whisperer, the grand master himself, DJ Scratch. What's going on, my brother?
Happy to be here, man.
Yeah,
What's
man.
going on with you,
I got a
man?
smile out of you just now. A little
Hey,
smile.
hey, I smile sometimes.
Okay,
man.
okay.
You know what I mean?
All
What's
right.
going on?
Oh man, I'm glad to have you here, man. Yeah. We gonna get into the DJ conversation, but you definitely top tier, one of my favorites of all time for
I
sure.
appreciate that.
Yeah, without question. But we're gonna get into some of the other things because you've been able to do the business and take DJing as a business to the next level too. But first things first, I want to talk about this new single you got with Ty Phoenix and I Be the Nicest. And talk about that record because it seems like you really taking this lyricism thing, putting it on your back a little bit, and wanting to carry that torch.
Yeah, man. Shout out to all the MCs out there. I've always been very picky when it
Yeah.
comes to making music and who I work with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And and Ty Phoenix always been one of those hidden gems
Yeah.
in hip hop in the underground. She's an underground queen. She's a
Mm-hmm.
triple threat. She's an MC. She's a singer. She's a musician. She played keys. But I felt she never got that due. Like she should be where we feel Lauren should be.
Yeah. True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she spits, and I'm just like, yo, I want to work with just strictly MCs that spit.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of Top Fiends. I'm a fan of everybody. And what I did started noticing is that some of my favorite MCs are not spitting no more. It's like they're trying to just, dumb down just to fit in when they don't have to do that, especially now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, I just want to work with spitters. So hit up Top Phoenix. I'm like, yo, I got this joint. She did what she did on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
And you produced it as well.
produce a
right?
joint. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's what's up. Now, you had put a comment on Facebook. Who should I work with next? And you made clear no auto tune.
That's right. Because that's a lane.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I remember, man, I was on Clubhouse on the Clubhouse app when it first started popping off in 2020, and we were looking for artists. I was in a room with Jeff Robinson. Shout out to Jeff Robinson and BK Entertainment, and people were playing their music. And when I tell you, it was about 20 rappers and singers, and they were all using auto tune. I'm like, okay, I know that's the wave right now, but we looking for something different. Like, we're looking for something different, and I just want to go back to the essence with it, man, and spit. I need spitters. You know what I'm saying?
Is auto tune a crutch? Do you see it as a crutch or is it a tool? Is it a tool or a crutch?
I think it could be both. You know what I mean? Like now, I think it's better now. Auto tune is better now because now when the artists are performing, they can put that auto tune plug-in on their mic on stage. So it actually helps the performer sound like the record now. Because like before, like after T-Pain, like immediately after T-Pain, when artists started using the auto tune, you used to singing the record and hearing the record in auto tune. But when you see them on stage and they don't, you hear their voice, you never heard their real voice, and it's like, yo, this shit sound crazy.
Can't sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the ones that started using it with, the rappers that started using it. So you used to hearing what you hear on the record. So when you hear their real voices, it's like, yo, I'm not enjoying this shit. But now you can actually enjoy it because they have the technology is better. You can actually put that plug in on their mic when they're on stage. So it's good now. It's good.
Did you what about when T-Pain did it? Did it annoy you then, or did you like it then? Was it cool?
Nah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it because you can actually tell. You can listen to auto tune with a singer, and you can tell if they can actually sing or not.
Right.
When you're listening to T-Pain, you can tell that he can actually sing without the auto tune. And if you ever been to a T-Pain show, he actually turns the auto tune off and actually sings and show people that he can sing. But I loved when T-Pain used it. The reason why everybody else is using it is because he used it so well.
Yeah, definitely. Now, with your, your new, is it a movement or is it just what you're doing? Albany Park is your label. Are you recruiting actively new talent in addition to?
Absolutely, it's a new movement. It's a new movement, but I've been making music forever, so I'm just doing it under my own brand, and that's really it, man. Albany Park Records, Albany is where I'm from. Albany Projects, Park Place is the cross street, so just Albany Park. Anything I do is my hood related. But yeah, I'm looking for a couple of artists. We have a couple of more that's coming down the pipe.
Okay.
Some fire shit singers and all that.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking for talent, man. I just want to do my part. Hip hop has blessed me. The fans have definitely blessed me. Took care of my lifestyle for over 30 years. So I just want to just put back out. I had the whole Scratch Vision movement. When I started that, everybody wanted to put on artists, put on the next rapper, the next singer. I wanted to put on the next DJ. So that's what Scratch Vision was for. So I put on DJs. Got a lot of DJs out here that's popping right now around the world. So I want to start working with artists and putting some artists out there as well.
What impresses you as an MC? When you see an MC, what impresses you? What qualities of
most importantly, just flows and not being afraid to be different from the batch that's out here right now. That's always been my whole thing, and I approach the same thing as far as DJing. Just bars, difference, having actual history of the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many people that are talented that you can put on, and that's easy to do. But I want to put people on that actually knows the history, and if they don't know it, eager to learn the history.
Right.
That's what I'm about.
Yeah. I
want to put people on that actually know the history, willing to learn the history, and willing to teach the history. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what I'm looking for.
Hip hop's turning 50 later this year, August 11th, and we're all looking at it and analyzing it, and kind of peeling back the layers and the years. What's your assessment of it right now, where we are in 2023, especially from like the DJ perspective? DJing, my little cousin hit me. I shouldn't bring his name. I bring him up in almost every interview because it gives me a little glimpse into
bring him up
where young people are. He's like, "Yo, I want to DJ too." I was like, "Yeah." That's like, slow down, man. Like, that's a real thing. He wanted to rap, and he wanted to DJ. Then he wanted, you know what I mean? I'm like, pick something to master.
Right.
And
choose one.
Maybe you could jump over there.
Right.
But not to put him on blast, but sometimes it seems like people, Paris Hilton is a DJ, Snoop's a DJ, and I don't say this disrespectfully. I just mean a lot of people are DJs now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so what's your question?
So well, let's just zone in on 50 years of hip hop, 50 years of DJing, because the DJ came before even the MC.
Right.
So we're kind of talking about, for us in hip hop, 50 years of DJing.
Man, I'm still like, it hasn't hit me that it's been 50 years yet. One of the main reasons is that once I entered the game, I've been blessed to have success consecutively over 30 years. So, I'm still at the point when I'm still not looking back at my career, like all of my accomplishments. So, on a global scale of looking at the whole culture of 50 years, I didn't even look at it until they started announcing it. Like, yo, 50 years. This year's gonna make 50. I'm like, damn, 50. So it's still taking. I haven't done that. I haven't sat back yet and looked.
Yeah.
And because you see the heroes, you see the actual pioneers. It's an honor for me to listen to these tapes back in the days when I was younger, listening to Cold Crush, the Force MCs, the Fantastic Five, Grand Wizard Theodore, Grandmaster Flat. You know what I mean? Listening to those tapes, Crash Crew, and then later on, actually meeting these people and becoming great friends with some of them. So that's surreal to me just in itself.
Yeah.
Like when Grandmaster Flash calls my phone, I'm still like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's Flash calling my phone. Still to this day, I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm still looking at it like that. And I think like once we get closer and you start seeing more, because I know there's gonna be a lot of events for the 50th anniversary. So I think once we start swarming everything with the 50th anniversary. Then I start sitting back and looking. But for me, it's just hard for me to look back and analyze because I'm still moving forward with my career. Been blessed to do that.
Right.
But yeah, it's 50 years. It doesn't seem like 50 years.
Yeah, definitely not.
Definitely
not. Especially when you're living it.
Yeah.
You're in it every day.
I'm deep in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Did you ever try to rap?
Man, listen. Yes.
Okay.
Not even try to rap. Like the beginnings of hip hop. Like when I first started DJing and doing hip hop, like back in the days, the beginning, I followed the actual pioneers.
Right.
Back then, you had to know how to rap.
Yeah.
It wasn't partitioned. It wasn't, I'm gonna be a rapper. It wasn't that.
Yeah.
When hip hop began. You was a rapper and you DJ'd.
Yeah.
Like, so for example, Run DMC, you have never heard Run DMC call himself an MC.
Right. DJ
He calls
Run.
himself DJ Run.
Yeah.
To this day, he was a DJ because he follows that rule. Grandmaster Caz,
Right.
I feel is the GOAT of this shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody started rapping because of him. The styles because of him. He's the beginning of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He was a DJ.
Mm-hmm.
All of the rappers back then, the MCs, were DJs. So I followed that. So I used to DJ and rap at the same time.
Wow. Okay.
On the turntable, I had a mic, catch the record, be rapping at the same time while I'm catching the beat, jump on the keyboard, play whatever break I'm playing on the keyboard. Like I did everything.
Wow. That's crazy.
I did everything. And just as, as just learning music and learning about other genres of music, like I remember like Aretha Franklin and Gladys Knight, all of those artists back then, they couldn't get a record deal unless you knew how to play an instrument. It wasn't about just your voice.
Got you.
Back then. You had to know how to play an instrument. It wasn't just like, okay, she can sing, but what can she play?
Right. Yeah.
So I just had that mindset. But yeah, I used to rap because that's what a DJ was.
Right. Now, is it true? All right. So I don't want to say this in a disrespectful way, but did you teach Jam Master Jay some things to help him take it to the next level?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, and that's not a disrespectful thing.
Okay. I just want to, JMJ, that's
rest in peace.
Yeah,
man.
rest in peace.
Jam Master Jay, you see the tattoo right there?
Wow.
When
Yeah.
you see Jay, you see me.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, when we I was opening up for Run DMC when I was 19, back in 1988, end of 1988, and it was Run DMC, Public Enemy, Derek B, rest in peace. He was like the Jay-Z of England at that time. And I was the opening act. And so after the first maybe like first 4 or 5 shows of the tour started in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So one day Run was complaining to the soundman, to the production crew, like, yo man, these crowds been dead.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really giving the energy that they should. And the soundman said, nah, the crowds ain't dead. That little kid that's opening for y'all be wearing the crowd out.
Right.
So it's like, who, the DJ dude? Yeah. So it was like, yo, he be wearing the crowd. Like, what the hell is he doing?
Right.
It's like, yo, he be cutting, taking off his clothes and shit and spinning around, cutting with his elbow, his feet, pull his dick out, cut on the turntable. Girls is going crazy and shit. And so the next show, and Run DMC never comes to the show until it's time for them to go on. They're the headliners.
Right.
That next show, DMC and Jam Master Jay came to the show early to see me rock. So they see me kill shit, bring the house down. And after the show, Jam Master Jay was like, yo, man, can you show me some of that shit?
Okay.
I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still like living a dream. Like, I'm in another country. I'm standing in places that I read about in school, which I would have never thought I would be here, first of all, especially where I'm from. And I'm out here with cats, with records that I spin their records. Now I'm here on tour with them in another country. So, yeah, so we became cool. He started coming to sound check every day. Okay. And I would show him a routine. And then he finally got the nerve to do the routine, I think, when we got to Paris. Okay. But he didn't tell Run DMC he was going to do the routine. So it was Beats to the Rhyme.
Okay, yeah.
So when it gets to the part, when it goes, because you can't touch Jam Master Jay, because the number 1, 2, 3. They just do that. They just do that. But when it got to that part, Cause you can't touch. And they point at him, and he go, Jam Master Jay. Then he said, chicka jam, make a master chicka Jay, chicka 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 jam, make a master chicka Jay. And they look like, what the hell is he doing?
Right.
And then he starts catching it, and then when it got to the one, then he started juggling it. One, 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 one. And then he said 1, 2, and then cued them, and then they continued.
Right.
But after the show, they was like, yo, where the fuck did you learn that? And he was
Right.
like, yo, Scratch showed it to me. But yeah, that's how it happened. And he started doing that routine in their show, every show from that moment until his last show with them.
That's crazy.
Right.
Shout out to Jam Master Jay. By the way, for those that don't know, by this time, Jam Master Jay is a superstar. He's not
He's not a superstar, he's a god.
God, right.
God.
Yeah, for real. I mean, you can't even put it into words, right?
The greatest.
Yeah.
God.
Yo, speaking of Run DMC, man, these lists, man, they be killing my soul sometimes. Respectfully, one of the lists, I won't say the publication's name, they got run like 45. And I'm like, yo, cuz, y'all really not respecting Run DMC right now with these lists. And by the way, I don't separate the two. For me personally, DMC and Run are on equal levels.
Right.
Now, Run might have had a little more charisma.
More swag, yeah.
Yeah. But for me, D and Run are on the same exact level.
Absolutely.
And plus, D was a writer,
Yeah.
Generally your thoughts on Run DMC as a pioneering, taking hip hop to the next level in a time when they had to grab it. They had to take it because nobody was giving us anything then.
Yeah, Run DMC is the greatest rap group of all time.
Yeah.
Regardless of who comes after them and who's more successful than that group, Run DMC is the greatest rap group of all time.
Mm-hmm.
They took it from like the Bronx, they took it to the streets. Queens, Brooklyn took it to the streets. Them cats in Queens took it to Hollywood and took it around the world.
Yeah.
And they took it mainstream.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's Run DMC.
Yeah. Not much to say, but
Greatest hip hop logo of all time.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Say Adams, by the way.
Wu-Tang is a close second.
Close second. Oh,
Shout out to the Wu.
You causing some controversy now.
Shout out to the Wu.
I just want to shout out Say Adams because I legit texted DMC maybe a month ago. And I was like, yo, by the way, who did y'all's logo? Because we had a conversation about it. He hit me right back, Say Adams. So, he was in the Def Jam wheelhouse. So he was doing
he say every day.
Did he do EPMD? I don't know.
Nah, he didn't do EPMD. Eric Hayes did EPMD.
Okay, gotcha.
Shout out to Eric Hayes.
Salute.
Yeah, it was a drawing board up there. It was called a drawing board.
Right,
and man, Say Adams is a beast.
Yeah, that's a lost art, man. And their Wu-Tang logo. I mean, look, I got all hip hop's logo. I said, we gotta have a logo. We gotta have a nice, strong logo too. Like not something you can put on some merch.
Right.
That type of thing.
It's the most important thing, man. Like when your merch, I mean your logo is just as important as your music.
Yeah.
Your logo will last longer than your music will. And
that's
you
true.
can make millions off of your logo.
Yeah.
Way after your music stops selling.
Yeah, that's
Run DMC is a perfect example. I think the biggest logo in hip hop is Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
That W.
Yeah, definitely. They got Wu-Tang lipstick. I mean, they
Listen.
I'll be like
Wu-Tang, shout to Divine, shout to RZA, shout to Mathematics. That Wu-Tang logo is the biggest logo in the world.
Mathematics had no idea what he was doing when he made that logo.
Man.
Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to Mathematics though, man.
No doubt.
And I like, with hip hop turning 50, I like to shout out the people like that who do those, and those might seem small at that moment, but had no idea how big it would be.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean that logo changed everything.
Man, just being on that tour with them last summer, it just showed me how powerful that Wu-Tang logo is, man. Like Wu-Tang is like the Rolling Stones of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy. Their fan base is like, I would see people in the audience 60, 65, 70, 10 years old, 20, 30, like just every age group in there singing every word, every song out loud. It's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people may not know this, but you toured with Jay-Z and you were
Yeah.
his DJ.
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Jay-Z by some standards is the GOAT. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's at the top of every list somewhere.
Absolutely.
Always in the top 5.
He's definitely a GOAT.
Yeah. What was your experience like with him? And from my vantage point, I was like, oh shoot. I think I seen maybe DJ Green Lantern up there sometimes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe
that was way later.
Way later. Okay.
Way later. Yeah.
Yeah, but you were up there, and I was like, oh shoot, that's next level to have you and him, both of y'all goats in your respective, again, depending on the list, could be number one on those lists.
Absolutely.
What was it like?
It was fun, man. Shout out to the whole Rockefeller back then. You know what I mean? Like, because Jay-Z, he likes to laugh, and this is when when him and Dame was still together. Dame and Biggs. They loved to laugh. They crack jokes all day long. Right. So it was just jokes all day long. That's it, all day long. Jay was he was actually receptive to advice.
Okay.
Of me giving him advice about performing. You know what I mean? Because I don't know if you've seen Jay-Z's performances. Before he went through the roof. Jay, and Jay's laid back, so he's just gonna sit and just chill and just do his show. And I told him, we first started doing shows. I was like, yo, you don't have to move too much because that's not you. You know what I mean? Yeah. You laid back. I said, but just let the crowd know that you're enjoying your music and they will enjoy you.
Right.
And and Jay's, he just likes to. He don't move too much. So.
Right.
So if he just points his finger, like, I'll drop the beat. So he loved that, just that.
Right.
Having a DJ behind him where he don't have to go, yo, what's the next song? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which I hate to see artists do. Like, then they go to the turntable. Yo, right. What's the next song? So with Jay, it was fun because he understood. I understood, and he was very comfortable. He didn't have to ever look back.
Right. To
the turntables, even if he calls an audible, because he most artists will call an audible, and for people that don't know what I'm talking about, it's a football term where you're gonna change the play. You know what I mean? So even if he calls an audible, if he calls an audible, he never has to look back. And if he just goes like this, boom, something's gonna happen.
Right.
The record is gonna drop. If he goes like this, it's gonna stop. If he goes like, you know what I mean? So. It was fun. It was definitely fun out there with Jay. Never drama. Never seen him angry ever. You know what I'm saying? It was fun.
Okay. When you saw the Dipset versus the Lox, what did you think of that? And I say that because for example, when Jadakiss said, "Yo, Tech, let's make something happen," and the DJ was what's the word? Sneak. It was like almost like a sneak attack.
Honestly, it wasn't. It was so great. Shout out to Technician. It was so great, but all Tech did was what he was supposed to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's all he did. Like, Tech comes from the Kid Capri camp, kid icon DJ. When you come from that lineage of an icon DJ, you know what you need to do. So. I wasn't surprised. Like, people like, yo, he did what he was supposed to do. He did his job.
Yeah.
Be on point. Always look at whoever you're DJing for. Listen. Don't get distracted by the chick in the crowd. Don't get distracted with your phone. He's sitting there ready. He's listening. He knows what's going on. He's seeing the situation. He's hearing the situation, and he's changing the song to match that situation.
Right.
That's what Technician did. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was legendary. He definitely had a lot of eyes
and that was the difference between the two crews. Like the Lox DJ was more on point than Dipset's DJ.
Yeah. Now let's
that's the importance of having a dope ass DJ.
Yeah, no,
you
that was. Listen, man, that was an amazing moment, man. Like, I mean, to this day, I listened to the beginning of Jada's interlude on Khaled's God Did album.
Yeah,
I listened to the interlude because it starts off with that segment. Yeah, and I'm like, yo, it's like probably top 5 most incredible moments to me, for me personally, in hip hop history.
That was a historic moment. And shout out to Dipset too,
Yeah,
man,
shout out
because
to Dipset.
because it's hard to especially nowadays that for somebody to take a L and just wear the L on their chest. You know what I'm saying? So that made it even greater.
Yeah.
That made it even greater.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
In
Like,
boxing, historic fights are made like that, and
Right.
and that's just the way it is.
how many fights have you seen where the boxer that lost made excuses after the fight was over? You didn't say nothing about your hands.
Right.
You didn't say nothing about any of that before the fight.
Yeah.
Because if you won the fight, you wouldn't have said anything about it. You
that's
wouldn't
a
have said,
fact.
"Yo, my hands was hurting,"
Right.
or I hurt my rib. So those matches don't go down in history because the person that lost doesn't take the L like a man.
Right.
So when Dipset took that L and then when Cameron made jokes about it and all, that made people love Cameron even more. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Word.
So let's go back just a little bit, man. Most of us were introduced to you by EPMD. What's your status with them now? There was a lot of friction a few years ago.
Yeah.
You made a thing on Instagram and whatnot about leaving the group. Where are y'all now?
No, we're cool. I spoke to Erick yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Yeah, we're
good.
cool. We haven't done any shows yet. We haven't done any shows since 2015, and but we're in works. We're in talks.
Okay.
Because it was just all really business. You know what I mean? And the reason why I even made the post back then because promoters were calling me when they see them,
right?
And I'm not there,
right?
But the promoters not knowing that I'm not there,
right?
You know what I mean? So I didn't want the promoters to think that I'm not showing up to shows, which is bad business because these promoters book me for DJ gigs as well. So, and just like when anything happens, everybody's calling your phone. You're tired of saying the same story, explaining over and over and over and over. So I'm like, let me just put this post out here so they'll know exactly what's going on. We're not doing shows together. This is why. I'm not missing shows.
Right.
They're doing the shows without me. It's like, and it's cool. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. How's Erick's health? I know he recently announced he had, we didn't know an addiction to opioids and had been clean for a while.
Yeah.
How's he? Did you have to deal with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So was that a problem for the business, or is that just, or even personal? Forget the business.
It wasn't a problem business wise. You know, Erick get up and do his job. You know what I'm saying? It was just you worried about him. You worried about his health.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Just like anybody else that that's dealing with an addiction, you're worried about their health. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, there was never a business problem, with him dealing with that. It was just, and it's nothing we can really do. Like you have to come to the conclusion that you have a problem, and you have to go to rehab and get yourself fixed up. You know what I'm saying? So but now we never had a problem with that.
That's one of the biggest things people don't understand is like, a lot of times, most instances, you're like, yo, why didn't somebody do something? Why didn't somebody say something?
Right.
Because they got to come to that moment on their own.
Because you could take somebody and drop them off in rehab, but it's still on them.
Yeah.
To do it. Like I know a couple of friends, just personal friends who went through alcohol addiction. You know what I'm saying? And they have to go to rehab. You can talk to them till you blue in the face, but it's at the end of the day, it's up to them to actually do it.
Yeah.
And you got to put in that work and do it. And Erick, when he posted it, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
He's meant it to the public.
Yeah.
I was just like, and I commented, I'm like, yo, I'm proud of you. That you finally went and got help. Yeah. I'm proud of you. You know what I mean? But yeah,
that's dope.
Erick is good. He's good, man.
Yeah. What about PMD?
Yeah, P's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, P's good.
P don't be responding to my texts, man. And then I saw him at not Rock the Bells. I saw him at one of the things the city had done, And he said, yeah, just hit me. So I hit him, and he still didn't hit me back.
Man.
But let me tell you something. I'm a fan, bro, and
But you know what, too? I'll say this, too, with P. P's not technical savvy.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He's not technical savvy, man. He's not tech savvy. So you know what? Like you know how how an iPhone it'll send some of your message into like that inbox that you don't see.
Right.
It might be in there.
Okay.
He don't even know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna call him next time then.
Yeah, just call him. You gotta just call P. You gotta call him.
Are you gonna get involved with this possible new situation? They put something on the internet about doing a new album for the 50th anniversary of hip hop. Are you in that talks?
Who's doing it? EPMD?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. Like,
oh, you ain't know that? See,
I
you
don't
don't be
know.
on All Hip Hop. See, All Hip Hop had it up as
man, I'm in the studio, man.
Yeah,
I'm in the studio,
working.
but I know Eric has his duets album, Dynamic Duos album.
Okay.
That album is almost done. We just spoke last night, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
That album is almost done. The EPMD album that'll definitely probably come after the other joint, but I'm here if they want me. You know, if they want me to add something to it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Your scratches probably are just legendary. I mean, for those that know, like, so what you're saying and other records like Piano, stuff like that, which some of which you produced as well.
Yeah.
Are just a part of the song. I think Premier, trying to think of others. The scratch is a part of, you know what I mean? It's not too many DJs that you can say bring that type of value. When you when you were scratching on like, so what you're saying, how did that come about? I know it might sound like a basic question, but that was, that had to be a decision that y'all made for you to go crazy on that record.
No, but when we finished the tour, that was my first tour with them. And it was like, yo, we're gonna start working on our next album. Do you want to get down? I'm like, yeah. So it was like, yo, we're gonna go away for a little while and write.
Okay.
And we'll call you when we get back. So when they got back, met them at the studio, and they gave me a cassette tape. Said, come up with some scratches for this. I didn't hear the song. They just gave me the tape. I still have the tape too.
Right.
Still have the cassette tape. And when I got home, I'm listening to the joint. Just listen to it. And the reason why the scratches are the way they are, because I'm a musician. So I didn't want to. I approached it like a musician and not like a DJ.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Not like a battle DJ.
Right.
Because sometimes you hear music, you hear songs, and the song is groovy, and the DJ is scratching 1,000,000 miles per hour, going against the grain. You know what I mean?
Right.
He want to show his shit. I'm gonna show everybody I can do a triple 5679 transform scratch. You know what I mean? But I just wanted to approach the song like a musician. So I found the hood hot shit. I was comfortable with that.
By the way, that's Chuck D.
Yeah. And it's actually the Treacherous 3. It's actually the Treacherous 3 from Feel a Heartbeat.
Okay, but it's not a Chuck D. It's not Chuck D.
Chuck D sampled it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, got
So
you.
originally it's that hood high.
Yeah,
That's the
But
Treacherous
it's from
3.
the Treacherous 3. Okay.
Yeah, it's Treacherous 3.
Gotcha.
But yeah. So I just approached the record like a musician. I wanted to just be in the groove and not stick out, just blend in like one of the sounds on that track, like the drums, the bass. You know what I mean? I wanted to be a part of the song,
Right.
not stand out. You know what I'm saying? And I said, every scratch I do, I just want to take it to another level. Every hook.
Yeah.
So the first one I approach it on some, then the next one do a different pattern, and then the last one do a different pattern.
Right.
So when I got to the studio to do it, I just knocked it out, one take, done.
Right.
And I never thought that I never knew why. It took me like 20 years to understand the impact of those scratches. Because like I said, I don't look back.
Right.
I'm just working. And when the record came out, all of the DJs was like, they was going crazy over that shit. Like, I'm like, I'm just scratching. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I understand that nobody was scratching on songs like that at the time, but I was just scratching.
Do you have a scratch nemesis? Who's your?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
Not even.
No.
Okay, let me tell you. Nah, you know what? I ain't gonna say his name because I don't want to bring nobody into this convo. But I'll say this: Philly has some amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll say that DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Cash Money, absolutely.
Okay, all right.
We are the three. We're basically the three kings.
Yeah.
Jazzy Jeff, 86 champion. Cash Money, 87. Me, 88.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was never any type of competition or anything. It was just brotherhood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No doubt.
Just brotherhood. Word up.
What happens if the hit squad doesn't break up?
If the hit squad didn't break up,
I like to educate the youngsters.
Okay.
So for the youngsters out there, if you don't know, EPMD had a crew, the hit squad. Redman, K Solo, was Das Effects,
Das
right?
Effects.
Das Effects. And who else?
EPMD, of course.
EPMD,
and
right.
the Knuckleheads.
And the Knuckleheads. Not as familiar with the Knuckleheads.
Right.
They were white, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah, okay. They were white. A little bit. I mean, so that was the hit squad. But hit squad was, without question, at that moment, the most powerful crew, right? And then it all fell apart. EPMD had a huge beef and broke up, and the hit squad went their separate ways.
Just like every hip hop, I swear it's just like, if you look back now, like as we're talking about this shit, if you look back, the biggest hip hop crews, it all went downhill as soon as they got to their peak.
Right.
For whatever reason.
Yeah.
For whatever. It's like black sitcoms. After 5 years, the shit is over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, so if they didn't break up, we would be like Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah. That's where I was going with it.
We'd be like Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
I would say like, Redman, Solo, and we would actually build on and bring more artists in as well.
Yeah.
Because it was the same formula that RZA used, RZA and Divine used for Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Get artists, put them on different labels, and just run the industry.
Yeah. Same.
So I think that's what we would be where Wu-Tang is right now.
And competitively, they were, Raekwon says it a lot, they were looking at the hit squad like, all right, we got somebody for him. We got somebody for him.
Right. And we were before them. So everybody had their eye on us. You know what I'm saying?
And I didn't know this for myself, but I watched the Wu-Tang Saga show, and apparently they had interacted even before Wu-Tang came out. Like there was something there beforehand. I can't remember the details of it.
Who interacted?
That early Wu-Tang, may have been RZA or something, had talked to, I think, Erick Sermon or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So were you around for that, or?
I wasn't around for that, but I actually had early interactions with Wu-Tang too. Like the Hulu series. There's a scene we shot the scene, but it didn't make the cut.
Okay.
But we shot a scene where it was a basement party. And it was Raekwon, a couple of them, but they were kids. And there was a DJ. I was actually that DJ in real life.
Oh, snap. Okay.
So I did the scene as me. So it was like, yo, you want to do it?
Okay.
Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a different character, or do you want to be yourself? I'm like, nah, I just be myself because I actually did it.
Right.
So so we dressed like in the 70s, early 80s, and did that scene. So I had the earliest interaction with Wu-Tang.
Wow, that's crazy.
Word.
Yeah.
RZA, you need to put that shit in there, man.
I think we need an EPMD movie, man. I mean,
absolutely,
everything's
biopic.
There.
Biopic, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We had a few years of good movies, and then once like Straight Outta Compton happened, it was like, all right, we're done. That was like the pinnacle. I don't think we had a couple like on Lifetime, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nothing that was like really big budget.
And that's why the Wu-Tang one is so special. You know what I mean? Like, even though we lost Old Dirty, but most of the group is still here to actually tell their story. But yeah, definitely should be an EPMD movie.
Yeah,
There's so many different. Yeah,
DMC
absolutely. Run DMC. But before we lose anybody else,
Facts.
and I think because hip hop is only in its 50th year, and I think maybe half of that, 25 of that, we started actually learning the business. You know what I'm saying? So I think we should start telling our own stories. We don't have to do it the way Hollywood usually does shit when they do a biopic, is when the person is gone. We can actually do this shit while they're still alive, so we can tell the story the right way, like Ray Charles. Ray Charles was alive when that movie was being made. That's why it came out so great, because he was there to go, no, it didn't happen like that. It happened like this. Why can't we do that with hip hop?
We definitely can. Who would you have play you?
Who would I have play me? I would have Rusty Jukes play me. Because everybody
says,
everybody say he looks like a younger me.
Oh shit!
So I would have Rusty Jukes. So you got to learn how to DJ and shit.
Yeah, right.
But I would have Rusty Jukes play me.
Dope MC. All right, so you got to start learning how to DJ. You can go to the Scratch Academy for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so let's circle back, man, to the Actually, before I circle back to the new stuff, but did Grandmaster Flash anoint you as a Grandmaster? Who?
No, Kool Herc.
Kool Herc?
The father.
Okay.
Yeah, December 21st, as a matter of fact. Yeah. Kool Herc.
That's
the father.
How's that feel?
Man, that right there is my Lifetime Achievement Award. You know what I mean? Like, I've been blessed to earn a lot of gold and platinum albums, DJ awards, DJ championships. When somebody asked me a long time ago in an interview, when did you feel that you made it? Was it when you got your first gold album? Was it when you got your first car, whatever? I was like, no. When I felt I made it is when the pioneers acknowledged me. Yeah, you know what I mean. So when Kool Herc anointed me a grandmaster, that's it for me. Yeah. If I don't do anything else, in this business, that's it for me. Yeah, that's what's what I'm saying. That's it. It gets no higher than that for me.
Yeah, definitely.
I can win an Oscar. I can be an EGOT right now. That grandmaster title from Kool Herc is bigger than all that to me.
Salute, Kool Herc. Yeah. So now we're you're helping push the culture forward. Where do you want to take your label, and are you going to focus on legacy artists? Are you going to bring younger artists in?
I want to do both, actually, man. I just want to just do some good music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think legacy artists should be putting out more music than they should than they're doing, for a number of reasons. But yeah, I just want it's just focus on good music, not on I want to just push.
Can they though? Like, can legacy artists? So when you were back in the day, you put your pen to the pad, you might erase it, scribble, da.
Right.
You know what I mean? It took a while to get 16.
Yeah.
You were competing with the new whatever just came out. So now I get more and more rappers saying I didn't write that. I didn't even write that. I just went in the studio, smoked, and put it down.
And it sounds like it.
It usually
sounds like it.
Yeah, usually. I'll shout out Neek Bucks. He's a rapper from Uptown, and I didn't hear it. Now I might hear it now that I know. I might go back and be able to hear it, but I didn't hear it. A lot of them I can hear it right off without knowing. Yeah, but anyway, I say that to say, what would it take? Let's say Busta, for example.
Right.
Well, I think Busta's got something about to drop, right?
He just dropped something.
He just dropped something?
Yeah, he just dropped something like about 2 months ago.
Okay.
He just
but an album, though, I mean, I want to hear a new album from Busta. Does it make sense to drop albums?
Busta has over like 3,000 unreleased songs,
in
man.
The vault.
I don't know why he be holding on shit, but let's not even say Busta, because Busta's active.
Scratch.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't even use him as an example because Busta's active.
Okay.
I'm talking about like artists from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel they can.
Mm-hmm.
I think the reason why they don't is because, life gets in the way, for one.
Mm-hmm.
That generation has grandkids now. Some have great grandkids now. Life gets in the way. Your music ain't playing on the radio no more,
Right.
which is one of the main reasons where shit gets foggy. You know what I'm saying? But if they just had direction and understand
Mm-hmm.
that people still want their music. For example, anytime like when I was doing shows with EPMD,
Mm-hmm.
the lineup was always like Slick Rick, Dougie Fresh, Rakim,
Mm-hmm.
Black Sheep. All of the artists from the '90s, golden era, '80s, and it'd be packed. We can be in an arenas, it's 20,000 people, or we're in a theater, 3,000 people.
Yeah.
Those people are the same people that were at these arenas when we were first coming out as artists. You know what I'm saying? So, like, even when I was just on the Wu-Tang tour, when people see me, they like, yo, shit. Once they heard that I was on the tour, because I wasn't announced on the tour.
Right.
So once people realized I was on the tour, I would run into fans, and they would come to me with pictures that I took with them 30 years ago.
Right.
Yo, you was here. I took this picture with you 30 years ago. So what I would do with every fan that do that, I would recreate that picture and take the same pose or whatever.
Right.
But what I was trying to say is these people still come to see you.
Yeah, definitely.
That fan base are 40 and up, from 40 to 60 years old. They're not going to buy Drake. They're not going to see Drake. They're not going to see the young artists that are out now.
Mm-hmm.
But when a Big Daddy Kane comes through, they're there.
Yeah.
Rakim, they're there.
Yeah.
EPMD, they're there. The only thing that our generation is not doing is giving them fans music when they walk away. You know what I'm saying? So, for example, when we used to be on tour back then in the 80s and 90s, you would have to hope that they go and buy your record the next day after the show. Yo, we got a new album out, and hope that, everything was paper. You know what I'm saying, back then. So after we get off tour, we'll see, how many records we sold in each city. You know what I'm saying? Now they can buy the record right there on their phone.
Yeah.
Right there.
Or stream it.
So you don't even have to do an album. Just make a single.
Yeah.
New Big Daddy Kane single, new Slick Rick single, new Black Sheep single, just so on and so forth. Because that audience that's coming to see you, they want new music from you. Because they're not gonna buy any music from anybody else.
Right. Mm-hmm. It was
sell the merch, sell the music. They can buy it right on their phone.
It was crazy. Keith Murray recently went viral for maybe all the wrong reasons, depending on how you look at it. And the one thing I took away, and I was like, he don't have no new music. I was like, all this attention, and he doesn't have a song that people can run to listen to, and he's not promoting anything. It's just attention for the sake of attention.
I don't know what that was about.
Yeah,
it's not a good look to me. You know what I'm saying? But we had this conversation before. Remember, I called you angry at you one day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not gonna say what I was angry with him about, but I was angry with him for me being a journalist and a business owner talking to another journalist and business owner, and I just basically said that black media was created so we can have our own shit, and we can big up our own artists, because anytime you see hip hop in the news, it's for something bad. DMX, rest in peace. Somebody got arrested. This artist got arrested. This artist got arrested for whatever. Now black media was originally created so we can protect our kings and queens of our culture. And I feel I don't know who interviewed Keith Murray.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know who interviewed him. It doesn't matter, but whoever interviewed him, this is just me. I wouldn't have put that interview out, because that interview is going to hurt people. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? He hurt himself doing that shit, but it's going to hurt other people. And I feel as a as a business owner, as a journalist,
Mm-hmm.
I feel that sometimes it's not about the views don't really matter. Sometimes you have to protect that artist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And protect the people that they're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Changed though.
Absolutely. It's
It's
smut
changed.
now.
Listen, man. I mean,
It's smut. It's turning to smut, but
yeah.
those are one like and listen, there's definitely a place for bloggers and for gossip. There's a place for it.
Yeah.
But for the ones that who are supposed to be respected hip hop platforms, sometimes I think you should just be like, yo, I love you too much to not even put this out.
In this era of attention being the new currency,
Yeah.
it doesn't even matter no more. I mean, all hip hop has rappers crying on camera. Like a gang of them, but a few
Yeah.
crying over whatever. They in a low spot, or they might call you crying on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I just feel like, if you're gonna talk about yourself, fine.
Right.
But
True.
when you're gonna hurt other
That's a
people,
fact.
I think you shouldn't pull the trigger on that. You know what I mean? Because these people have families, they have children. You know what I mean?
But
Like
it seems almost like the older artists are learning from the younger artists, because the younger artists, that's normal to call somebody out, to
what happened to just putting out some dope ass music?
I
to
don't
get
know.
attention,
That's what I'm wondering too. Like,
because honestly, like it's like what happened to just putting out dope ass music? Because it's like, all right, if you diss me, it's up when I see you. Like, what? Just make records.
Man, I saw two rappers.
Just make records.
Two rappers that are good rap. I mean, solid lyrics.
Hip hop beef is
they
corny.
Talking to their phones, each of them. Like, you're literally
on FaceTime. Yeah.
And I was like, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, hip
Y'all
hop
both
beef.
dope.
Hip hop beef is corny, man. Like, like just get this money.
Yeah, let's get
Get this money.
Oh,
2023 is coming.
All right, Hip Hop 50. I know they cooking. All right, man. Anything else you want to tell the people out there? I mean, I could keep going and going and going, because just having someone like yourself here at One World is always an honor. But anything else you wanted to share with people or tell them?
Nah, but check out my new single, "I Be the Nicest," featuring Ty Phoenix on all streaming platforms right now. Scratch Vision. ScratchVision.com. Download the Scratch Vision app. I'm on 2 radio stations. I'm on 94.7 here in New York. Every Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. I'm on Rock the Bells every Saturday, 6 p.m. I'm out here working, man.
Yeah. Man, all right, cool, man. We got to have you up here. We're starting some new programming. We're going to have you up here with other people and have like a nice spirited hip hop conversation.
Hey, I'm with that. I have a lot of wisdom.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. In hip hop, I'm 70.
Right.
I've seen a lot.
Hey, man, you look great though, man. You're one of them dudes that you be like, all right, yeah.
I drink a lot of water. A lot of water, man.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Stay away from drama.
Right. That's a fact. I'm not gonna ask you your top 5 or anything like that. I want to ask you, but then we'll add 20 minutes onto this convo. But I'll tell you this though. All hip hop has stayed out of the top list conversation. But we're gonna go in this year.
Right.
Now, we're gonna do it different though. We're gonna include people like yourself. We're gonna include the fans, and we're gonna include our own staff. And we're gonna take all of those views and scrunch them in, and then spit out a list.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because 5 people can't make no
I
list.
think a lot of these lists are made by people who are under 40 years old. I don't think you should have I don't think a top 5 all time or top 50 should be even written down or decided by anybody that's under 40 years old.
Yeah.
Because you really don't understand the artists that came before you.
Yeah.
You don't understand the impact. So that's where you start seeing outrage. Anytime I see those lists, I'll be like, those are young kids that made that.
And the other thing is, I told somebody just this morning, I was on a panel, ironically, with Kid Capri and Rocky Bucano from the Universal Hip Hop Museum.
Yeah.
And I said to them, Melly Mel deserves credit because he came through as the greatest of all time at that time and dominated at that time. but he kind of predated this wave. And then there's other people like Run and DMC and even Kumo D, Tila Rock,
Yeah.
and people like that who at that time
We're
put it
dominating.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I like Run DMC as my prime example because you can't conceptualize how great they were if you weren't there, and just because they came out in the 80s or whatever, the dominance is, I say, kind of like, and this is not a truly fair comparison, but Drake is like a dominant force or Jay,
Right.
Like, what I mean? But even Jay, if you go overseas, sometimes they might not necessarily really know Jay like that.
Nah, they know Jay.
They know Jay now?
They know
Because
Jay.
before, I'm going to keep it real, and this is no shade at all. Sometimes they'd be like, oh, that's Beyonce's husband. You know what I mean? And this is, again, no shade. Jay's at the very top of my list.
Those are Beyonce's fans.
Okay, maybe.
That's how it happened. Like when people used to say Brandy's brother. They didn't call him Ray J.
Right.
They call him Brandy's brother. Then when
Yeah.
he got famous for whatever reason, then they started calling Brandy Ray J's sister.
Right. Well, I just say that to say that, Run DMC, and I'm just using the Live Aid and We Are the World and the Martin Luther King song and, all of this that they did. That's all I'm really saying.
Right.
They were rapping next to Cyndi Lauper or something like that, or Bruce Springsteen, things of that nature. That's all I'm saying.
They did a song with Aerosmith.
Yeah, with Aerosmith. I mean, again, so I never, I ain't saying nothing about Jay, like not in that regard, just to say that Run DMC, there's literally, I would say, no equivalent. Inflation. I always call it inflation. You have to account for inflation to properly assess where some of those artists were.
Right.
If that makes any sense. So that's all I'm saying about that. But Joe, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Nah, I appreciate it,
definitely
man.
gonna have you back at some point because these conversations. I mean, we're gonna keep having them.
Hey,
We've
here.
always had them.
I'm here, man. Just holler at me, man.
All right, no doubt.
I'm here.
All right, salute.